Hello, this is Tea Talk number 13, and today's tea is going to be green tea, just plain old green tea. And I advise any of you who haven't drunk green tea much to read a little bit about it, and you'll be amazed by how good it is for you. I lived in Korea for almost 12 years, and green tea is so big there. You can get green tea pizza, green tea ice cream, green tea lattes, you name it, green tea in anything. And that's going a bit too far, but it is a great drink. It's full of antioxidants and it's got lots of other properties. And I've decided to keep my slurps in. Today I want to talk to you about another book because I felt yesterday was such a good idea to talk about a book. And this book is something I found this year. It's called Boundaries. And it's one of the top 10 books on relationship. And it's about where I begin and where you end. In other words, it's about the boundaries that we have in our relationships with each other and how to keep those boundaries clear and clean. And I'll explain a little bit more about boundaries. We have the two main types of boundaries that we have are physical and emotional. And and people can violate our boundaries. They can cross over into our space when we don't want them to. They can intrude, or they can also violate us by keeping too far away from us. So I think it was last week I posted something on Facebook. It was a picture of a girl with her mouth being covered over by a dirty hand of an adult man. It was a scary picture. And there's been a lot of news lately about rape and girls' boundaries being violated. And so as women, I think a lot about it. As women, we need to learn how to protect our boundaries. And we need to understand what our boundaries are. And I know that it's often the case that there are many girls, young girls, who are abused by men, and they put up with it. Even though they don't like it, they don't want it, but they put up with it because they don't think they have the right to say no. And so anyway, this book here is a wonderful book to help you realize how to maintain a healthy boundaries. And so here's one little exercise that I thought I would share. First of all, in order to build healthy boundaries, you need to increase your own self-awareness. You need to understand who you are, what you like, what you want, what your preferences are. Also, you need to identify your childhood offenders, if you had any. And then also you need to examine the state of your boundaries in your present relationship and then start cleaning them up. So this was something I felt very strongly about at the end of last year, that I want to become clear about my own boundaries and think about how I can make a better relationship, not just with my husband and my daughter, who are very key relationships for me, but with anyone. So this is a nice little exercise that you can do. If you have some trouble expressing your preferences or opinions when they differ from someone else, or when they differ from those who you're working with, or also those who are in positions of authority. So get a little notebook and keep it with you. For 1 week, research the ways that you're different from the people around you. Just keep track of things that you notice that, wow, I'm different than that. I think differently, I do differently, and write them down. And then every time that your opinion differs from the person that you're with, jot it down in your little notebook. Describe your opinion. And notice every time that your values differ from the people you're with, make a little note of it. And notice when your preference is different, okay? And then write down what your preference is. At the end of the week, look over your notebook, discuss it with a trusted friend. And that's an important part of the theme of this tea talk is talk about it. Tell someone. Tell some the good things. Tell someone about the good things that are happening, and also tell someone about what's going on in your life. The second step you can do after the first week is watch a talk show on TV. When you agree with a statement, say so. And when you disagree, tell the television your opinion. You can gesture, you can raise your voice, you can get emotional, you can get very expressive. Let Oprah get an earful of what you think about the topic. And then talk about what happened with a trusted friend. Then the next stage, there's 4 of them, 4 little exercises. The next one is at a party or an event where you are with people that you don't really know very well. Notice when you disagree with something that someone says, and then tell the person that you disagree and state your view. You can do it in a very nice way. For example, oh, well, that's interesting that you think that. I have a different opinion, and then express it. Then, as soon as you get a chance, tell that experience to your trusted friend. The last exercise is disagree with an actual person who's close to you, a friend, your husband, your child, your boss. Notice when your view is different and say so. So sometimes this is really hard to do, so it's building up with the other little exercises to help you get better and better at it. And you can say things like, oh, I see things differently than you do, or it's scary for me to say this. I disagree with you about that. Or I value your opinion, but mine is different in this case. So actually, this is kind of a very interesting, very simple way to get in touch with your own difficulties in expressing your opinions, and that's partly that's a practice of maintaining your boundaries. So I'll just tell you a little experience I had when I started working at the school that I'm at now. The very first day, there were 3 of us new teachers sitting outside, and I'm teaching art, and I had prepared a very, very thorough curriculum for my art course, and I was quite proud of it and very serious about it. And this other teacher, when he found out I was teaching art, he said, oh yeah, you just let the kids, express themselves, do whatever they want. That's easy. And I was reminded of this book, Boundaries, and I realized I felt a little uncomfortable and a little defensive, but I said to him, I said, well, that may be how you view art and teaching art, but I have a very different opinion of it. I think art is a serious thing, and I have a pretty detailed, complicated curriculum to take them through the process of learning how to draw. Well, it's interesting. He didn't really say anything, and I felt a little bit like, wow, that seemed like really heavy duty, but actually we have become very good friends, he and I. And I just believe that as we are really honest and as we learn how to really share honestly with each other, that's how we can really establish deep and good, valuable relationships with each other. So that's all I wanted to say, and I hope you have a good experience this week and learn something new, practice something new, share with a trusted friend, and see you next time.